Yeah, so this is a Mass Effect slash Chippendale slash linguistics podcast now
Don't
because
forget
we
Yakuza
we don't
rom-coms.
I guess we don't want to talk about Overwatch today. I guess do we just not want to talk about Overwatch or something? Hey everybody, and welcome to the discussion episode of Overwatch here in Multiplayer Vault, brought to you by Baritone Studios, the podcast where we uncover the stories of video games that you don't think have stories but actually do. Yeah.
I'm Evan.
So Evan, yeah, I'm Sky, and that's Evan. So Evan, I watched Chippendale the other night.
I've been begging you to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Can we? Yeah, he's been begging me for about I don't know 2 months. How long has the movie been out? I mean, you watched it like as soon as it came out, and you were like, Sky, you gotta watch this movie, and I just
I
didn't.
want to say that was probably beginning of May.
Yeah, so it's been like two
Here, I'm
months.
gonna go ahead and send you a list. Click on that link, and it'll show you all of the cameos in the movie.
List of cameos in the Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Oh my goodness gracious! All right, let's start. Let's start with MTV. Butthead, Garfield. Nice, cool. All right. Anyways, yeah, Chippendale, great movie. Go watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
Fever Dream. I
Um,
love it.
like actually, it's not that bad of a movie. Like I thought it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be like one of those bad good movies that you would watch just to laugh at, but it wasn't actually that horrible. Like I just watched DC Super Pets, and that was like a kind of middling, just like it's okay. It's just like one of those nothing movies, but this is a movie that I can watch forever and talk for generations to come. I'm gonna tell my grandkids about this movie.
And there was some pretty good voice talent in there. J.K.
Yeah,
Simmons,
like
Andy
they did.
Samberg.
Like yeah, like Jake. I actually like J.K. Simmons' character, and the Seth Rogen laugh part. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna spoil the movie, but there's this movie has some good
Seth
moments.
Rogen's in there.
But yeah, Seth Rogen, um, Andy Samberg, John Maloney, Mulaney, John Mulaney. I don't know his
John
name.
Baloney.
Melanie, John Melanie, whatever. So that's Chip and Dale. Go watch it. We're gonna plug a movie every discussion episode.
All right.
So now that we've talked everyone's ear off about Chip and Dale, let's actually talk about like the game Overwatch. So what's your initial thoughts, Evan, when you read this when you read this transcript for the first time when we recorded it?
Bro, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I've only played the game for about 25 minutes. But I will say from, listening to it's it's pretty cool. It's a little, I would say, a little darker and more in depth than I thought it was going to be. There's a lot of murder and killing people and, human rights violations, but it's robots, but they're sentient. So what is a person? Do robots have souls?
It's so like cartoony. Yeah, it's so like cartoony. Like it's like Fortnite, you know, it's so cartoony. You expect a story like Fortnite that it's like, oh, save the universe. Funny
Mhm.
quips. The Rock shows up. But no, it's very introspective civil rights slash revenge story. Then culminates into a save the world type story that'll probably happen come the Overwatch 2.
1.5 from what I've heard.
Whatever. Or I heard 1.1.
That's also
But
what.
anyways, enough of that. Well, I was gonna say what sort of opened my eyes to Overwatch's story were the cinematics and the trailers. Did you watch any of those?
I have not seen any. I probably should.
Okay. Well, the yeah. Well, they're a mix of like trailers and cinematics and trailers for new characters and stuff, and they're similar to like the Siege cinematics, where they were kind of like trailers, but they were also like storytelling beats and like, event storytelling that we
Hashtag
coined
event
in the Siege
storytelling.
episode. Hashtag event storytelling. They're cool. I think they're cool. My favorite is the Bastion one, where he finds a little bird friend and he goes on a little adventure.
Mhm.
And he's in a field with all these other shut down
I have
bastions.
seen that.
And if you listen to the profile episode, bastions were a part of the evil robot people in the Omnic Crisis, so that it started to do like flashbacks of the Omnic Crisis, and it was like this horrible no man's land, uh, wasteland war zone. And then you cut back, and it's just a little cute robot guy with a minigun and a little bird friend. So that's my favorite. And there's a couple others. You got Winston. He's funny. Hi there. He's funny.
So there was this point before I played Overwatch, and this would have been fall of 2018, my first year of college. There was a time before that, and before I played Apex or Titanfall 2, where I thought the cinematic for Bastion was the one guy from Apex. Yeah, I thought they were the same
Pathfinder.
thing. I thought it was for Apex. I didn't realize it was for Overwatch.
You know what? No,
Holy,
they don't look similar. I was thinking about it, and I was trying to give you like the benefit of the doubt,
this
and
was
be like,
before
yeah, I
I
guess they
played
kind of
my
look similar.
25 minutes of the game.
But
I didn't even play as Bastion.
this is this is before. Yeah,
Who did I play as?
yeah, Bastion, cool robot guy.
I'm looking it up.
I don't know, Evan. I didn't live your life.
Oh
4
wait, no, I
years
did play
ago.
Bastion. No, I did play Bastion.
Yeah, but
I played Bastion
Oh, you did
and
play Bastion.
Genji.
Yeah, he's a cool robot guy.
And Zenyatta.
Okay, so let's talk about Genji for a second. Now, in the episode, there wasn't there were more storylines than what we portrayed, and when I was writing the I guess script or guideline or whatever for the episode, I was thinking, okay, what's the two most important parts of Overwatch's story? And I deemed it was the Omnic storyline and the overall Overwatch storyline of like Jack Morrison and Gabriel Reyes being a couple of weenies to each other, and the rest of Overwatch just kind of chilling, being cool. And I just want to talk about Genji for a second, because there's this whole B story with the Shimada clan where Genji is like a disgraced, presumed dead member of the clan, and his brother Hanzo is like, okay, I gotta kill this robot guy, and then it turns out to be his brother Genji. And I didn't really elaborate on that in the episode or even mention it at all, because I didn't really think it was that important.
Hanzo believed that Genji was dead.
Yeah, Hanzo was like, Genji's dead, but now there's this robot ninja guy running around in Japan. I gotta kill him. But then it turned out to be his brother.
As most rom-coms tend to happen.
Yeah, those Yakuza rom-coms starring Ken Watanabe.
I'm going to give you all
and
a
others.
treat. After you watch after Chippendale
let's go
Rescue
back to
Rangers, after
Chippendale.
you've watched it for the 4th time, I'm going to need you all to watch some of these Yakuza rom-coms.
Yeah, there's this new one on HBO Max, actually starring Ken Watanabe and Ansel Elgort. I haven't watched it, but the trailer looked cool. I don't think it's a rom-com though. But anyways,
The one that I know of is called First Love.
oh, this is actually a thing. You're not like doing a bit thingy.
It was by Takashi Mikes. It is a
Or are you doing a bit
rambunctious
thingy?
Yakuza rom-com, and that's awesome, according to silverscreenriot.com.
Oh, so you haven't seen it? Did you see it?
No,
Is it a good movie? Okay. Well,
it's not a bad movie.
well, you know what we have seen? Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I'm telling you guys, this is the movie of the year. I'm telling you guys right now. Like, the people have been talking about all these Oscar bait movies like
Jar Jar
Amsterdam
Binks was
or
supposed to be in the film,
or
but
Nope.
they replaced him with Ugly Sonic. Ugly Sonic
Oh,
was
really?
supposed to be Jar Jar. You know what? That's the
What?
only thing I'm going to spoil. Ugly Sonic's in here. If you don't know that Ugly Sonic's in here, he was in the trailer.
He was in the trailer. It's not really a spoiler. Yeah, and who's he voiced by? I know he's voiced by
Oh, shoot. I don't
someone
remember.
notable. Um, so Chip and Dale cast. So if you guys don't know who Ugly Sonic is, the Sonic movie that came out in like 2020
yeah, it's Tim
was
Robinson.
Tim Robinson. I've never heard of that guy. Eric Bana was Monterey Jack. Anyways, so Ugly Sonic was the original design for that movie, and everybody hated him, and so they made everybody at the at the studio crunch and fix them. And those movies are kind of good.
Have not seen it.
No, I saw the first one and it was okay. Anyways, Ugly Sonic's in the movie. That's not reason enough to make you watch it. I don't know what else is. But if not, He-Man and Skeletor are also in the movie. I had no idea that the original voice actor was still alive, because in like the Netflix, I guess, sort of reboot / sequel He-Man, like Masters of the Universe series, they didn't use him to play Skeletor, which was kind of odd because I guess he's still alive and can still like talk and act. It just seems kind of like a spit in the face kind of thing. It's kind of like the Mario movie thing, where like the guy who plays Mario is still alive and can still, I guess, playing Mario isn't really voice acting. It's more just saying a bunch of phrases, but still.
I was also going to say the voice of Master Chief when they were making Halo 4. It was originally going to be like an
What?
all new voice cast. So Cortana, Master Chief, like everybody, Dr. Halsey. I don't think Halsey was going to be in there. Anyway, they were. It was
What?
going to be brand new voice actors voicing them, even though
I Huh.
because I was
I
listening.
had no idea.
Because I was on Marty O'Donnell's Discord. I was on Marty O'Donnell's Discord before it like shut down, which is a whole thing. We don't know what's going on. Anyway,
Marty O'Donnell being the composer of Halo before Halo 4.
my hero, my saving grace. Some people don't like him. I would kill another person for Marty O'Donnell. Anyway, he did an interview with Jen Taylor. So Marty was doing an interview with Jen Taylor and Steve Downs, and talking about how they were both approached like a quarter, if not like a third or even like halfway, I don't remember, like through the process of making Halo 4 to be like, hey, we need you to come and voice these parts. And they were like, wait, Jen and Steve were like, wait, what? There's a Halo 4? And they're like, yeah, these people aren't cutting it. We need you to voice the characters. They're like, we are the characters.
The characters that you've been playing for 10 years.
We digress. So Genji.
I mean, we're kind of done with Genji. I just wanted to talk more about Overwatch in general. I just want to talk about how basically like Jack Morrison and Gabriel Reyes ruined the entire thing. Can we just talk about that? How everybody was just kind of chilling and being cool and actually like doing stuff that was like good. And while Jack Morrison and Reyes were like, oh, but my way's better. No, my way's better. You suck. You took my job. Well, you were bad at your job, so I had to take it.
In all honesty, it's a little comparable to Nighthaven and Rainbow.
Yeah, kind of. Because, like, I mean, yeah, it's similar in the way that it ended.
Like, imagine there was a second Harry,
I think.
And the two ended up fighting, and then, Rainbow split, and then...
Yeah, imagine if Harry was split into two people, and it was good Harry and evil Harry. But the good Harry was kind of a jerk about being good. Like, he was kind of a virtue signaler type guy. And then evil Harry...
Would he just be Harry?
I think he would still be Harry, but...
or would he be...
then evil Harry...
you said good Harry and bad Harry, but you said that good Harry was kind of being a jerk.
Yeah.
So would they still be good Harry, or would it just be... Because being a jerk's a bad... So...
Well, how about...
Bad Harry and Harry, or...
Well, how about, like, How about like gray Harry
But why
and evil
gray?
Harry? How about that? Well, you know the saying of like it's not just black and white, it's shades of gray. Good Harry is
I'll
like
tell you where
shades of
there's
gray
that's
type
so
person.
confusing, and there's a gray area. I don't understand why they say it. However, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, there was no gray area.
No, I want to talk about Overwatch. I want to talk about Overwatch. Dadgummit, Evan. The listeners would not be happy if we just talk about Chippendale the whole. Evan, as much as I would love to talk about Chippendale this entire episode, we have to
If
talk
we
about
get two
Overwatch.
people to say that they want a Chippendale Rescue Rangers bonus episode, we will do it.
We will do it. We won't even take any money. We'll just do it. We can talk about this movie for hours. You know what's actually a good idea? If we could you and I watch the movie at the same time and we give like our reactions and then post that as a podcast, and then while the listener is watching Chippendale, it's like they're watching the movie with us, but also not
YouTube
really.
video idea?
Although, I mean, I think it would work as better as audio because it's not like we can show the movie on YouTube. So it's just an idea. Nobody steal our idea, by the way. If you do this, we'll come for you.
Years ago, some idiot thought it was a good idea to make sentient robots.
Yeah, good one, Evan.
No, continue. You know more.
Also, let's talk about vehemently for a second. How did this guy not know? I don't know if this is going to be in the final cut of the profile episode, but if it's not, this guy didn't know what vehemently
I want
meant.
all the listeners out there to know that I have written many, many papers in my life. I had a music history paper in my music history class where the professor looked at it, said, "This is phenomenal. It belongs in a textbook," and is currently going to be using it as curriculum for upcoming music history classes because of how well it was written. I also worked doing research and writing scripts for another podcast. I am not a stranger to words. I have never heard of this word in my life. Vehemently.
Vehemently. It's not like it's not like an obscure French word. Oh my god. You know what? You didn't even say vehemently in your take.
That was the take.
You said extremely
after. That was the real take. Vehemently.
That's vehemently. That's a real word. It means like extremely.
Just say it shorter. Fiercely, intensely, loudly, violently.
Yeah. Right.
Just
same gist, same connotation.
Just use the 5-letter word.
Get it right, listeners? What 5-letter word? Fiercely?
Madly.
I guess I could have, but vehemently is it's very poetic. Whatever. You didn't even say it in the final take, so why does it even matter?
No. There is nothing poetic about the phrase. Who created the Australian Liberation Front, vehemently anti-omnic paramilitary.
Vehemently. I think it's poetic. Yeah, let's pull up the script right now. Hold on. I closed it because I didn't think we would have to do this.
In
pull
Australia,
it up on Google Drive.
The omnics were given a reserve to live in the outback, displacing many human locals who created the Australian Liberation Front.
Oh, that
a vehemently anti-omnic paramilitary group.
Yeah, a vehemently anti-omnic paramilitary group.
So you don't even say
vehemently. No, it's just vehemently. Who cares?
Apparently you do. You brought it up.
Well, you said it. You said vehemently. That's not how you say vehemently.
Why didn't you put it in your section where you're going to say it if it's that big of a deal?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be such a problem for you to say vehemently. I thought, this is a word that people use. I thought that, a graduated college student would know what vehemently was.
I'm gonna find the most obscure word.
All right, let's drop this. We're dropping this. No, oh my god, I'll still be able to pronounce it. Watch me pronounce it perfectly. Okay, this is a great segue into Australia again. Another thing I couldn't really get into when I wrote this because it wasn't really that important, and it actually goes into like the new hero for Overwatch 2, the Junk Queen or whatever her name is. So like in the profile we mentioned, like the Omnics were thrown into the scrapyard and they were forced to fight for amusement, like but like basically like Pokemon. Sort of, it's not a segue. It's a good like transition into what Overwatch 2 is bringing with the Drunk Queen and her being like in those arenas, because it wasn't just Omnics, it was also people too who fought in these, and sometimes it was like cross Omnic versus human, sometimes it was just human versus human, Omnic versus Omnic, whatever. And it just goes to show Australia is a dystopia.
Now, I did see
That's all I'm
where
saying.
the second game is going to take place like literally throughout the entire world, but also,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we talked about there being
Yeah.
like the regular multiplayer mode, but they're also going to have like actual like story based missions where you do fight against like AI enemies, and there's dialogue,
Right.
cutscenes, and other stuff.
Which is why this episode came just in time, because if we made it after Overwatch 2, it would no longer be eligible for this podcast. So thank God that we made this podcast before Overwatch 2.
It would be, and then somebody other would suggest it, and I would
Yeah,
vehemently tell them no.
yeah, someone would suggest that, and then you would go, I
I
vehemently
vehicular
refuse.
tell you no.
You would say that out loud. I would vehicular manslaughter refuse. Yep. That's exactly what Evan would say. I can hear it.
Synonyms for
I can hear it now.
vehemently, like cats and dogs. Male efficient.
Didn't you just do this?
Male efficiently. Male
You just
violently.
did this.
Tempestually.
Malfaciently?
Tempestually.
See, now these are obscure words. If I put
tempestually?
tempestually,
You've never heard of that? I thought somebody
who's ever heard that? Oh my god! I thought somebody who wrote like 3 essays in his school career.
See, I was never like a PhD student, so I didn't have to throw in.
True.
I never had to throw in the big
more
words. The big words are for PhD students.
Yeah, I'm a PhD student. That's me. I'm 25. I'm working on my PhD. Yep. So anyways, Evan's stupid and doesn't know what vehemently means. And yeah, Overwatch is a cool game. But what else are we supposed to talk about with this game? Overwatch. It's a fun game with heroes. Evan, who's your favorite hero? If you can name one.
Probably.
I mean, your secret intro had a couple name drops.
I would say the one I'm probably the most connected to is Widowmaker, because it was my ex-girlfriend's favorite. Also, it's a sniper, and if it's anything like my sniping in Fortnite as of lately, I like Widowmaker.
Well, I heard Widowmaker is like the worst character.
So it's fitting. It's fitting for me.
So, yeah, it's fitting. As someone who played the game for about 25 minutes, and picking the worst character makes sense.
I will say, so Bastion is the one that has like the big like Gatling gun, right?
Yeah, he is like a little backpack minigun.
Yeah, so I did play Bastion. I think Bastion was my favorite, just because I always like playing like support / like the bigger guys in games like this.
Yeah, like that's the guy that everybody hates because he's so good, because he can just turn into a minigun and shred everybody, and he also can just repair himself. But I like when I like playing as like the healer, because I'm not very good at like gunplay in general.
Enjoy that also
in most games. Yeah, I like playing as like Mercy, and even though Zenyatta's
Mercy's
like,
the angel one, right? Like the main angel one.
He was pretty fun to play. Yeah, Mercy's like the one where the screenshot that you see where she's like reaching her hand down and the lights like basking behind her. That's Mercy.
Bastion and Pathfinder do look alike. Yeah.
No, not really. Bastion looks kind of like a big brick. Pathfinder looks more like Legion from Mass Effect.
I never got past like the first half hour of Mass Effect. Sorry, I have a bad habit of only playing like half an hour in a game.
I've only played Mass Effect 2, which is I guess kind of weird because I guess
Mm-hmm.
you should play the first one. But then when I asked everybody, should I play Mass Effect? They were like, sure, but I don't know if you should play
I
the
think it
first
was
one. I
one.
don't know.
I think it was one of those games where you had to be there like when it came out, because everybody was like losing their mind, and then like 3 years later they're like, all right. So anyway,
Yeah, so this is a Mass Effect slash Chippendale slash linguistics podcast now
don't
because
forget Yakuza
we
rom
don't
coms.
we don't, I guess we don't want to talk about Overwatch today. Yeah, Yakuza rom-coms and HBO Max. I guess do we just not want to talk about Overwatch or something? I'll tell you my favorite character. It's Zenyatta. I might not be good at him, but he's funny, and that segues perfectly into like the Omnics and their culture. I thought it was cool that the Omnics weren't just portrayed as robots being like,
Hmm.
but we're sentient, which is something that Star Trek Next Generation.
No.
No, so it was the Star Trek show with Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh, like the older one.
Yeah,
I say older, like the
one of the
original
older
ones.
ones,
Yeah.
and yeah, and like one of the characters, Data, was like an android. So basically, during the whole show, he was like, "How do I become human or whatever?" And in one episode, he had to fight for his sentience. And one thing that kind of irked me about Data was like, why is he trying to be like a human? Like, what's the motivation there? Like, and that's what they brought up. That's what Overwatch did, and I guess the writers in Overwatch thought, why would robots ever want to be like humans? Why wouldn't they just make their own culture? And that's what I really found interesting about the Omnics was that they didn't they didn't just want to become humans, nor were they entirely like we're just going to become drones that completely block out any type of society or emotion. They actually made their own culture, and it blossomed into something pretty interesting. And I wish they would flesh it out more because it took up about 2 paragraphs of my research, and I thought it could have been more than that. And I'm talking to you right now, Blizzard. I want more details about Omnic society because I think that's really cool. And Zenyatta is a part of the Shambali, which we mentioned in the profile episode. And that group was, what am I trying to say? I just had a brain fart. And that group was trying to both bridge the gap between humans and Omnics, but also say to humans, we are our own thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
and and so basically what I'm trying to say is I I think what the writers did at Blizzard did what the writers at Star Trek couldn't, is basically what I'm trying to say. And if none of you have any idea what I'm talking about, I'm so sorry. This whole thing probably flew over your head, but I hope I was able to give enough context to make it make sense.
Previously on Multiplayer Vault. From different nationalities, but we have to team up together. And there's a lot of, like I said, in the friendship. Some of these closest friends are from 2 countries where they do not like each other.
That was the short version, huh? Stay tuned for this video. This is going to be a meaty one if that was the short version.
Or maybe you're angry. Maybe
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
are. No, maybe they're angry
Why
at
would I
you
be
for
angry?
not making sense or it going over their heads. In which case, they will send us a vehemently vehicular letter to us stating how angry they are. I'm just stuck on the fact that there's a hamster.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there is a hamster that controls a big ball.
Well, so his name's Wrecking Ball.
named Wrecking Ball. His name's Wrecking Ball, and he's a little hamster guy.
I was looking into his backstory. It's actually really interesting because I was like, okay, you scroll through all of Overwatch's playable characters, and there's quite a few animals. And like, I completely understand there being like, the people characters,
Yeah,
and then, like the robots. Like, that's explaining the lore. But what about the animals? And so it talks about how, yes, like Winston and
Winston.
Wrecking Ball Hammond, they were test subjects.
Is that his name? It's a missed opportunity to name him Rhino, like from Bolt. You ever see
Well,
that
I feel like
movie?
every time we bring up Bolt, we also bring up the hit movie G-Force.
Yeah, and G-Force,
Mm-hmm.
except those were guinea pigs. And Bolt is definitely a better movie. But yeah, had a little hamster guy named Rhino, and I think they could have named him Rhino, or at least Hammy. Like, come on, Hammond.
Well, so what
What
came
kind of name is
first?
that? Call him Hammy the
What
hamster.
did was it Overwatch or was it Bolt? 'Cause I'm pretty sure it was Bolt first.
Uh, yeah, Bolt came out. Bolt came out in like 2009 or something.
Right, so they would have probably gotten sued.
Eh,
I don't know.
would they
Anyway,
have though?
Wrecking Ball was
Whatever.
Hammond, the hamster, was a test subject on like a lunar colony and given, intelligence as a part of his testing. And through that, he like became fascinated with mechanics. And then there was a huge test subject uprising, and Hammond escaped to Earth with Winston. So
Oh, so they were like of the same
yeah,
like tests. That's cool. I wonder if they're like old drinking buddies. Like I just imagine like Winston and Hammond just rolling up to a bar talking about their
mhm.
old days at the lunar
Winston, he has a
facility.
barrel of alcohol, and then
I thought you were gonna say peanut butter because that's like his favorite food.
well, I was gonna say, and then Hammond has like a single shot of alcohol because given their size.
Yeah, size difference. They probably have different. Although that might have been one of the tests that the scientists were doing, like trying to give hamsters
Hmm.
alcohol tolerance. Just saying.
There's not a zero
Just saying
percent
that could have
chance.
been one of the tests. Blizzard, get on it.
That's for like
Get on it, Blizzard.
the anti Hammond.
Yeah, can Hammond get schlamped? That's my question. Miley
So it's
Cyrus.
Miley. So the new character is Miley Cyrus. Is just trash the entire time. That is that is who you play when the other team is playing with a Wrecking Ball main. To counter Hammond, you need Miley Cyrus.
Okay, so makes total sense. And then Blizzard would get sued because I don't think you can do that. Rhino is a little more innocuous than calling one of your characters Miley
Siley
Cyrus.
Myrus.
Yeah. So that what was I going to talk about with like Winston and stuff? Yeah, Winston's a big gorilla. If you didn't listen to our profile episode, he's a big gorilla. He started the new Overwatch after he was attacked by Reaper, and which was also a cinematic, which was pretty cool. And he's like, "I'm not a monkey. I'm a scientist." And then he like shocks all the Talon guys. I was going to talk about animals being sentient and Chip and Dale,
I thought we were done
right?
with Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale? No, we're never done with Chip and Dale. Nope, we're never done. So Chip and Dale.
Oh! So I bring it up and I get yelled at, but no, you bring it up.
So Chip and Dale is a movie about Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the show, being an actual real life show, and that the characters in Chip and Dale are real life actors. And I'm sorry. Why are his eyebrows so thick? Okay, so for the listeners, Evan just sent me a close-up picture of Wrecking Ball, the hamster, and this guy has eyebrows that are so they look like whipped cream, and he has ear hair like Yoda. If you guys are interested, please look up a picture of Wrecking Ball Hammond. And now that we're floundering and trying to come up with talking points, I think we should end it here.
Here's what I'm going to say. If you made it this far in the episode and you are truly a fan of Overwatch and you want us to actually do a discussion, let us know. We will probably not listen to you, but there's a chance that we might redo this
Yeah,
episode. Not right now, but years down the line.
we get Francis on. They actually like
Mm-hmm.
play
Yeah, and then my little
Overwatch and
brother
like
plays
it
also. So we
a lot.
this
So
is not goodbye. Or this is not goodbye.
yeah,
It's a see you later.
yeah, you can come back.
You know what I want to
Yeah,
see?
it's
You want to know
in a
what I
while,
see later?
crocodile. It's like that kind of thing.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, see this right after you listen to this podcast. Go on Disney Plus, and if you don't have Disney Plus, get a Disney Plus free trial
Or get a
and watch
friend.
Chip and Dale,
Get a friend who has it,
or get
which
whatever.
is arguably harder.
Somehow watch Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the movie, the 2022 movie, and tell us what you think. And if you try to say anything bad about it, we'll block you and we will find you.
Trust me. You will watch this movie and you will not react vehemently.
They should get us to be they better come out with a sequel to that movie. That was a great movie.
Nothing for me saying it right.
You might react fiercely or tempestually or whatever you said. Malfaciously, whatever you said.
See ya. And I'm
Anyways,
Evan.
That's the end of this
Beep.
discussion episode of Overwatch.
Click.
And I'm Sky. And we're done. We're done. And cut. And we're done.
Rescue Rangers.
And we're not live.
Chip
Bye-bye.
and Dale.